Hey guys, welcome back to Clinical Physio. I'm Khalid Maidan, and today we're discussing a really important topic, which is strengthening exercises for the elderly. Whether you're a physiotherapist working on the wards, in the outpatient department, or in the community, you're always going to be coming across elderly patients who are struggling with their mobility or functional tasks, and therefore, this one's definitely for you. If you enjoy this video, we'd be super grateful if you could smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of our best content. But otherwise, if you're ready, let's dive in. So as we get older, we know that our body changes, which can affect our function and our mobility. Our range of movement may reduce because of things like osteoarthritis, our balance and our coordination may reduce over time, and our muscle strength can reduce over time too through a process called sarcopenia. This is an involuntary process whereby our muscles reduce in mass and reduce in power. And it's something that can be affected by things like comorbidities, by our nutrition, by previous exercise levels. And therefore, strength and strengthening exercises is super important when we're working with our elderly patients. Now, unfortunately, stereotypically, strengthening exercises for the elderly is something that's commonly deprioritized or is suggested to be done in lower levels of intensity, perhaps because it's believed that those who are older can't cope with strengthening exercises of a higher level, or perhaps it's suggested that they shouldn't and won't improve their strength. However, we know that that's definitely not the case from the research. In their research titled The Intensity and Effect of Strength Training in the Elderly, Mayer et al. In 2011 established that actually healthy older adults should be training 3 to 4 times a week for the best results. They found that also these adults should be working at between 60 and 85% of their maximum voluntary strength. And it was found that improving the rate of force development requires training at a higher intensity, above 85%, in the elderly, just as it does for younger people. So now we know that we should be working at a higher level when it comes to strength training with our elderly patients. And therefore we can use something like the rate of perceived exertion scale to try and determine what kind of level is right for them. Now, it might be with tasks such as gait re-education or balance, we want them working at a lower level, perhaps around 3 to 4 out of 10 on the rate of perceived exertion scale. But when it comes to those strengthening tasks, as Mayer et al. Highlighted, we need that intensity of exercise in order to create physiological strengthening effects. And therefore, when I'm working with my more elderly patients, I might well be aiming to see if we're working at a level of around 7 out of 10 to demonstrate that they're working at a level that is going to create that physiological change. So next, really individualize what you're going to give to the patient in front of you. Really take the time to establish what kind of tasks that patient is finding challenging in their home environment. Is it something like putting items on the top shelf? Is it something like reaching down to the floor? Is it something like getting up from the sofa? Because if you can find out the exact tasks that they find challenging, it will allow you to focus on what muscles should I be looking to strengthen? What activities or what movements do I need to be practicing that are similar to the challenge that my patient faces? So for example, if we're thinking about putting something on a top shelf, well actually that could look quite similar to something like a shoulder press. And if it's something like getting up from a low seat, then that might be familiar with something like squats. You can see how we can train the exercise relative to the movement that our patient might be struggling with. And there's no doubt that if you can show that to your patient, if you can show them how the exercise you're giving them relates to their functional difficulties, not only will it give them more motivation to do it, but when they start improving, it will certainly improve their confidence because they can see how they're improving in the exercise and how that will help them improve with the functional task. So those are a couple of really simple tips that you can use. Number one, make sure that you're still working at a higher intensity regardless of the age of your patient. Number two, perhaps use something like the rate of perceived exertion scale to try and work out whether or not you're working at the right level for your patient. And number three, definitely utilize functional tasks and exercises related to those functional tasks, individual to the patient in front of you. Not only will it improve their strength, but it will also improve their confidence when they can see exactly how the exercise that they're doing is going to help them with that task at home. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have and you'd like to find out more about us, then check out the description below for links to our Instagram channel at Clinical Physio and our website clinicalphysio.com, which has got loads of brilliant resources to help you. My name's Khalid Maidan. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you really soon right here on Clinical Physio.